Right now, we're all taking health precautions and trying to make smart financial decisions, but what measures should we be taking with our portfolios? Joining me via Skype this morning, Rod Yancey, Oath Planning's investment and estate planning attorney. He's also a popular radio show host, a frequent speaker on estate planning topics throughout our community. Good morning, Rod. Thank you so much for joining us. How are you doing today?
Doing well. Good to see you, Erin.
Yeah, good to see you again. Okay, so what should people be doing with the market volatility? How should we be reacting?
Well, I'll tell you what not to do. Don't freeze. So I talked to a lady yesterday. Well, now she's a client. And she said to me something I've heard a lot, which is whenever things started to get bad, she just didn't want to look. And that's natural. You know, we don't want to experience those negative emotions, so we don't want to look at our investments. But that's the worst thing you can possibly do. So you've got to take some action.
Okay, approach it head on. And if you're approaching retirement, what can people do to protect their money?
Well, if you're in retirement, it's even a little dicier, right? So you're in a critical period of your life where if you lose a lot, well, then it can really matter. So you've got to be extra careful. We were working with a client of ours. He's an oil and gas engineer, and the oil and gas markets have been hurt even worse than the general market. And his question to me was something I've heard a few times, which is, after all of this, would he be able to retire? And so if you're nearing retirement, you've got to be able to answer that question. Will you run out of money? And how can you position things in such a way that you can live the best retirement that you possibly can?
When you're putting together a portfolio, when you're investing money, there's a lot of talk about your risk level. So how should people be approaching that right now, given our economy?
Well, you got to be careful. So you can't take more risk than you can afford to take. Given the economy right now, I mean, the market could go down another 20, 30, 40%. Now, nobody knows the future, but you've got to put yourself in a place where you can weather that type of storm. So you need to get investments that are taking the least amount of risk and giving you the maximum amount of gain so that you can spoil the grandkids in retirement and do some traveling and get to the places where you want to go in your retirement.
I think a big question on a lot of people's minds is a big loss and what that might look like. Is this fixable?
Yeah, I mean, you can. There are some investments where you can insure your principal. So you can make sure that you have a guarantee not to lose money and some opportunity for growth. So that type of tool in some plans is going to work really well. But the most important thing is that you have a plan that is tailored to you and custom to your unique situation.
So is that the way that we're going to find growth potential?
Yeah, it can be. So looking for opportunities in this market, they do exist. There are undervalued stocks out there. You can get a lot of growth potential that way. But if you want to insure a portion of your retirement, well, then there are other tools available as well.
Rod Yancey, thank you so much for joining us, helping our viewers out. For you at home, if you'd like to learn more about planning for retirement you've been working towards, Rod has a great offer. Right now, the first 5 callers with a portfolio of $250,000 or greater, he's offering a complimentary full-blown retirement plan for you. This will allow Rod and his team to schedule a phone call, video call, or a future in-office meeting so they can talk with you personally and provide you with a roadmap moving forward. So there's the number, 918-268-3792, 918-268-3792.